So many times when we sit down with our clients, people start thinking they want money for money. How much is enough and what's my number and all that kind of stuff. We were sitting down with some clients earlier this week, and what they really came to understand is that the purpose of their money is freedom. And how does that give them the freedom to do the things that they want?
Let's talk about the real goal of wealth is freedom.
The Retirement Readiness Podcast with Tim Regan and Katie Umland. Presented by Prairie View Wealth and Tax Advisors. Live your 2-comma life.
So, real goal of wealth, freedom. I once heard somebody say that if you have enough money, you have no problems.
Well, I've heard somebody say more money, more problems.
Yes, that's right. It goes both ways, right? And what their point was not that you live this carefree life that you have nothing to worry about or anything like that. Their point was that if you have something that you want or you need, or if you can pay to have that taken care of, then that's not a problem. So if you think about in third world countries where they don't have running water, their problem is they don't have that. Well, if they had enough money to build a well they don't have that problem, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think a lot of times when we think about wealth, we think that it gets kind of convoluted. Some people want money just to have money. They're like kind of the hoarders of money. Mm-hmm. But I think if we change that and we shift our mindset and start thinking about the real purpose of wealth is freedom, I think that starts to change and shape a little bit of how we make decisions and what we're trying to do with it.
Well, and freedom from so many things. Like you said, some people want money to have money. Well, they want money for safety.
Sure.
Like they're hoarding that money because it makes them feel safer. Yep. So freedom from being scared is also
a huge piece to it.
A huge piece, not just freedom to do what you want, but also.
Yeah. So as you go down that list, like what are the freedoms that I'm choosing, right? And what does that look like? And so I know for us, as we think about those freedoms, everybody has a different definition. And for some, the hoarder kind of mindset, there's never enough. That pile of money will never be enough. We were just talking with clients earlier this week, and these same clients, and we're talking about the money that they have in their checking and savings accounts. It is well into 6 figures, halfway to 7 figures. And they're like, I don't know if we can put more money. I don't know if we should invest money. Like, we need that. Yeah. Like, okay, remind yourself when you were 30. Yeah. How much money did you have in your bank? Yeah. And what would you have thought was enough? And so really, as you start thinking about what does that freedom mean, I think it means a lot of things. Like you were saying, it means freedom of worry, freedom of feeling safe, secure, but also maybe freedom from being able to do some things.
Well, also like Alex helps me with this all the time, like thinking about how and ways to spend money. Like, okay, what's much more worth it to you? Like, should you spend money on, like, start with your pain points?
Yep.
I guess is what he is good at doing. Like, okay, when you wake up in the morning, would it be really nice to have some help with the kids?
Yep.
Let's put some money to that.
Sure.
Like, not just
100%.
And that's a freedom.
100%.
Also.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because I think a lot of times people, and maybe I should back up on it. I think that maybe we have the ability to have a unique perspective because we own our business. We're used to hiring people to do tasks that we need in the business.
Right.
And so therefore it's much easier to think about, oh, I don't want to do this, or I need somebody to do this. I don't have to be the one to do this. Let me go hire somebody to do it, which creates that freedom. Versus like, I know, and maybe it's my mindset too, because I know even like with Tim and Sarah, they're both the type that are like, if I can do it myself, I will save the money and I will do it myself. Right.
That's so funny because our neighbors, we were just playing with the neighbor kids the other day, and our neighbor was getting his well pumped or whatever this weekend. So he was like, oh, a company's coming to pump the well. Well, he was out there with a shovel digging the hole to get to the well because he didn't want to give him $50 to dig the hole. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, $50, dig that hole all day.
Dig me 3 holes.
But for him, he was like, no, it's so easy for me to dig this hole. I'm saving $50. And it's just so funny to see like everybody's where they want to spend that money.
100%. And so I think that a lot of times we can get caught up in this mindset around, I don't think about what can I trade to alleviate pain in my life for a few dollars. And so we get caught doing things that are not high level, not high reward types of behavior, because we don't think about, oh, I have enough money that I could be free from that.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times that even comes to things like mowing your lawn.
Yeah.
For me, I haven't done it now in 20 years, so maybe I wouldn't love it now, but I used to love mowing the lawn and getting it looking perfect.
Yeah. Something you can control.
I can control.
You can see the outcome.
I see it like in our work every day. I don't see my outcome. Yeah. I could see, hey, I did that today and it's outstanding. But then I realized also that was taking me several hours every weekend to do that. And it was weighing on my mind. I'm like, oh, this weekend I don't have time. When can I get to it on Tuesday or whatever? So writing the check to say, we're going to have a company come out and do that work for us doesn't come out quite the way I would do it, but it gives me all of this freedom of time and of mental energy to where I don't have to worry about that anymore. I think about the same thing around the house. I do a lot of projects around the house. I'll fix just about anything in the house. But then there's times when I'm like, you know what? I could take an entire weekend and 18 trips back and forth to Home Depot, rather than maybe just have somebody come in and help.
Well, and when Timmy's not living with you, to do it with you.
Yeah.
Like if Timmy's
so it's not
home,
our project anymore. Yeah.
It's not like, oh, cool, I get to spend the weekend with Timmy and we get to make 18 trips to Home Depot together.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It looks different.
Yeah, 100%. And it's not just those kinds of things. The other thing, like another example of what that freedom can look like. We have a lady who's widowed at a younger age, and she and her friend used to always go to the sandwich fair. If you're not familiar, Sandwich Fair is a great place to go. It is. They've got great acts, great musical acts. It's a great place. However, it's about an hour 15 from where she lives. Her husband used to always drive them.
Yeah, that's overwhelming.
And now it's overwhelming. And to think about her and her friend going out there to do that. For $300, we hired a car that picked her up at her house, drove her to the fair, waited for her. Then when they were done, left and took her home.
Yeah.
Was that a value? Maybe not dollar for dollar, like compared to when she could just drive out there herself. But when you look at, I can either have this experience or I cannot, way different. And it's well worth spending just a couple of dollars to be able to do that.
Not only to have that experience, but you're gaining feeling like your old life again.
Yes.
I'm used to this. I love this. Like I'm not missing out on this. Like it's not just that experience.
Well, in the sense of accomplishment that I'm not tied to being controlled by these things anymore. I mean, it's a whole different experience. And so I think when people start thinking about this whole money is freedom thing, I think we need to expand kind of what we think about. And to your point, if Alex is talking to you about, hey, what are the things we don't like? What are our pain points? And can we get those to, kind of disappear?
Right.
That's a whole different.
It's just a different way to think about what money freedom means.
100%.
And I just think about it in so many different ways. Like I also like having the money hoarder mentality. Alex has a money hoarder mentality sometimes. But that gives him so much safety.
Sure.
Like he doesn't have to worry about if he loses his job. He doesn't and that is worth it for him.
Yep.
And he's married to somebody who doesn't have a hoarder mentality.
It's a good balance. It's a good balance. Yeah. Yeah. And so I think when you think about all of those things, you think, okay, how does money equal freedom? I think about freedom in different buckets. And you can think about the freedom to do the things I want. It's freedom from doing the things I don't want. Mm-hmm. It's freedom to spend time with the people that I want to spend time with. It's freedom to be generous. It's freedom to be great, have gratitude, all of those things, and money can help to create that. But it is just a tool to be able to do that. And so I think that as people think through what are those freedoms, sometimes it takes a little bit of a shift to think, well, wait, why am I always doing it that way? I don't have to. We had other clients of ours. We were talking about travel, and for them, as they got older, travel just got harder. And they're like, I don't like going to the airport. I don't like getting in these little seats. I don't like, all of the things. Well, airports have services where they will take you from security to the gate, especially as you get older in age. And there's no reason why you can't fly first class. Now all of a sudden you have this big seat. Yeah. You have somebody that's giving you some food along the way. They're checking in. You can have there's no reason why you have to be in that place, because the money that they have gives them the freedom to be able to do that. And so to think about that plane ride all of a sudden becomes way different, right? And even there, go to the car. It's one thing to say, who's going to drive us to the airport? Are they going to pick us up? Are they going to, for a couple $100, you can say, pick me up at my house at this time, pick me up at the airport at this time. And I'm not saying you spend frivolously, but if there are barriers to you doing the things you want to do in life, let's remove those barriers. And
I truly think this isn't like a plug for Prairie View, although it's going to sound like it. I truly think
it should be. It's our podcast.
Yeah. I truly think like talking to an advisor, or it doesn't even have to be an advisor, just talking to somebody else, like having a pointed conversation, it opens your eyes to things that you never even thought about it, or you didn't even realize that was a pain point.
Yep.
That often I think I've really had to shift my mindset on it feels like if it's not hard, I'm not doing it right. And if it's hard, 100%. That means that I'm working hard.
Must be doing the right thing.
This must be how it has to be.
Yep.
And I have to continuously tell myself just because it's easy doesn't mean
it's
you're
bad.
Doing a bad job, or that you're doing a lazy job, or 100%. What I mean. So, but I think talking to somebody that can point out to you hey, it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
Or to think about hey, you haven't gone to the sandwich fair in 3 years.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that again?
Do we want to go do that?
I mean, it's with Dylan, my 4-year-old, he eats pancakes all the time. One morning he said, I don't want to eat pancakes tomorrow. And I was like, why? Okay, that's fine. But what's up? And he just was like, I don't like pancakes. And so finally, I asked him enough questions. He doesn't like that his hands get sticky.
Yep.
Buggy, there are so many, we can get over that.
Yes. This is an easy
fix. But
solution.
for him, he was just I'm done with pancakes.
Yep.
But he still likes the pancakes.
Yeah, 100%. No,
but if
100%.
I hadn't asked him the right questions to get to why are we giving this up?
Yes.
He would have been without pancakes for
the rest of his life. Yeah. And it's so easy for us to get into those mindsets, right? And what's kind of interesting to me is a lot of times we see people that make decisions or want to make decisions that are lifelong decisions based on what really is a relatively small amount of money. And so put that in perspective. We had a client recently who was going to buy a new house, and the house that they had 2 houses they're looking at. The house that they really liked was about $50,000 more than the house that they would be okay with, they were happy with, but it wasn't the house they really liked. Well, by the time we broke that down into a 30-year mortgage,
right,
and what that actually means, it's why would you not take that next step? And that's where Sarah and I were at actually early on when we were getting ready to get married. We bought our house. We closed on our house 2 weeks before we got married. And when we're looking for houses, I had a very rigid, I was the guy that was pretty frugal. And I'm we've saved this money. I don't want to blow it all. And I have set a hard line for here's how much we're going to spend. And we saw houses that fit that category. Yeah. and we made an offer on a house. Sarah did not like that house. I was happy just that we were buying a house and was making myself okay with it.
Early marriage. Sarah was not happy with the house and you moved forward.
Yes.
Tell me if that happens today.
Yes. How about it? And so we were pushing, we made an offer. And luckily, God was looking out for us. There was some issues with the electrical. The seller refused to fix anything. So the deal fell through. At the time, we felt oh, geez, that stinks. But our realtor came to us, who was a good friend of ours, and a good friend, when I say good friend, a grandpa, he was an older guy and kind of took care of us. And he said, hey, Tim, why don't you just let me bump your budget a little bit? We're not going to go crazy, but I think it's going to put you in a different category of homes. Oh my gosh, it was so night and day different.
Yeah.
But here I had that mentality around money is here for me to hold on to hoard, to not spend. And all of a sudden I looked and said, for not anything that's going to change our lives money-wise, we get into a house that changes our lives completely because of the experience and what we're getting. And so it's just so funny how sometimes we can get into those mindsets that doesn't let us truly make the decisions that.
So it's one of those things that is so hard to know, is this a slippery slope or is this a good decision?
Yep. Well, and to your point, sometimes that's why it's good to have somebody from an outside perspective come take a look and see, have a conversation with you. Hey, am I making a good decision here? Am I not? Like,
because that's one decision for that house, but then you need to furnish the house, and you say, okay, this couch is only $100 more than our budget, but it's what we really want.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then now you get into like, okay.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. And so it's hard to know where do those lines cross or when is the right time to spend that money. But if I change my mindset from thinking that money is an asset, money is something to be held on to at all costs, and I start to say, wait a minute, I have money that's a resource that I can use to apply to different parts of my life, wherever I want to apply that. There's some where it says I need to have money for that security, so I'm not worried all the time. That gives me freedom of mindset. But there's also sometimes where you say, you know what, spending a little bit of money is going to improve my lifestyle, improve my outcome dramatically. Why am I not just looking to do that? And I talk to my kids about that quite a bit. But when you're in business, it's easy to say, I don't need to spend that money. I'm going to do it myself. But what happens is you don't get the leverage of multiplying the effort, of multiplying. And there are things just people are better than me at doing, right? But also, by me not spending that money means that I'm not helping that family put food on their table, not helping them support their kid. Like, so when you look at some of those things, it creates freedom in lots of different areas. And so shifting that viewpoint to maybe say, how do I use this resource to create the most freedom and the most enjoyment, rather than just how do I.
It's another example of just like being purposeful and really intentional about how you're spending your money and what your goals are.
100%. Yeah. And it's so funny because you'll see this all over the place. You'll see the people that will say, oh, well, we can't afford to go on vacation, or we can't afford to do those things. But yet they're sitting in the Starbucks line every day.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like the stuff we talk about all the time on the show. It's like, just how am I intentional? How do I take an objective look at my life and say, where do I want to be in the next 4 years? Those 4 years are going by, whether I want them to or not. Do I want to be sitting here saying I did, or I wish?
And like, who and what is driving the ship?
Yep. 100%. 100%. So yeah. So we would encourage everybody, view money as a resource, view it as a path to freedom. Not just as something to hold on to and hoard and build and all that kind of stuff.
Don't shove it under my mattress, or do shove it under the mattress.
Both. Yeah, it's so funny. So we're down in Cincy this past weekend with Tim and looking around at houses and
because
stuff.
Tim is like running the Cincinnati office.
He is running the Cincinnati office.
He's finishing up school.
He'll graduate here in about 6 weeks.
Oh my gosh, he's so excited! I bet
it's so exciting. Well, you know, it is. It's like, so he made an offer on a house, and then you don't know, are you praying that the offer is accepted or not? Yes. Right? Like, because if it's accepted, then it means it's all real. Of these other things. Real. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're down there with him, and Sarah and I went out in the evening, and we stopped at a couple places by where his new house would be, like where he wanted to put the offer on. And we had a beer, and Sarah had a mixed drink. It was $8.
That's what I was hoping you were gonna say. Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet.
And so
Tim's like, this is where.
But this is my jam. Yeah. And so there were these guys they were regulars, you know. They're talking to the bartender back and forth, and they had gotten a drink, and he charged them like $4.80 or something, like some odd number. And the guys, how do you sleep at night with yourself? You know, and he said, he made the same comment you just said. He's like, really good with all your money under my mattress. You know, so it was like $4, like, you know. Right. And so it was fun. It was a good time for us.
Good. Tim loves Cincinnati, right?
Oh, he does. Yeah, he loves. What's really cool about Cincinnati, it is a hometown place. Like if you're from Cincy, you're from Cincy.
Yeah.
So like they had Reds opening day.
Okay.
There's a parade. Everybody, like nobody works. Everybody is in the downtown area to get having Reds opening day. Like it is a huge deal. Like you do not go. It's different than any other city I've been in, and maybe I just haven't looked around enough when I'm in other places. But you cannot go into any venue, any restaurant, anywhere, and not have half of the patrons have their local team on, whether it's University of Cincinnati, whether it's Xavier, Reds. Like there is nowhere you can't be Cincinnati.
Well, that fits just with Tim.
It is.
Like loyalty, hometown proud.
It is.
Like,
yeah. All those things. So yeah. So he loves it. It'll be a good place for him. Good. So that maybe that's where he can spend some of his money to have some freedom.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm so happy for him. Thanks so much for joining us this week. Head to pv-wp.com for more resources.
The Retirement Readiness Podcast with Tim Regan and Katie Umland. Presented by Prairie View Wealth and Tax Advisors. Live your 2-comma life. Learn more at pv-wp.com. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to the Retirement Readiness Podcast on your preferred podcast platform.